Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amar's Game Chat. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I am Amar, and today I just wanted to do this video where we have the Pokemon Presents announcement. I'm assuming this week, and then obviously the Pokemon Presents next week for Pokemon Day. Just talking about the Pokemon 30th anniversary because I'm very excited for it. There's a lot that I think they're going to talk about this year, not just on Pokemon Day or in the Presents, but just in general. So I just wanted to make this video talking about it for a little bit, talk about my excitement for it. And yeah, obviously, since we will be having the Pokemon Presents, I'm assuming next week, I will do another predictions video just for that exclusively, just talking about some of the things I think we're going to see there. Obviously, there'll be some overlap into this video about the things that I talk about there, but for this video, I just want to talk about like the year as a whole and just, what I'm excited for the year. So I hope you all enjoy this video, and without further ado, please leave your own predictions down for the year down in the description below. But again, without further ado, let us get right into it. All right, so there is obviously a lot that we can talk about today. There's a lot that we, in general, obviously Pokemon always has a lot going on throughout the year. So in a normal year, but this is the 30th anniversary year. And you know what? Just to start off with, I want to show off some of the merch that I have for the 30th anniversary. I expect to obviously order a lot more, especially when it comes to like the TCG sets and like the I guess like they're gonna do more merchandise. They've already confirmed it for the rest of the year, so I expect to order more. But for now, all I have, or not all I have, but what I do have is the 30th anniversary pin, which looks very cool. It has the Pikachu logo. It has pretty much the logo for the 30th anniversary, which is pretty cool. I have this box that I'm going to open up very soon for a video. I wanted to save it for like this type of around this time, just to lead up to Pokemon Day. But I do have the Pokemon Day 2026 TCG box with the Pikachu. I'm trying to see. This camera doesn't really focus that well, but we have the Pikachu promo right there, and then we have the coin right there, and then we obviously have the logo for the 30th anniversary and Pokemon Day for this year, which is very cool. And then we have this lanyard, which is also very cool. Again, it's pretty much just focused on the 30th anniversary. So you have the two 30th anniversary logos right there. You have the pin, obviously the 30th anniversary. It says train on, which is, well, let me see if I can, yeah, it looks better. It says train on there, which is very, very cool. I think this is very cool. I got the 25th anniversary lanyard as well, so that's why I ordered this one. I don't know where it is. It's probably somewhere very nearby, but I don't really have access to it yet right now. And then I got the shirt, which I haven't opened yet because I will be wearing this on Pokemon Day, so I haven't opened it yet. But again, it's the shirt. It's very cool. It's pretty much this logo that we see on the pin right there, just in large form for the 30th anniversary, which is really awesome. And then I also have, if I can get access to it, I put everything on top of it. But I also have the one of the copies of the Time magazine for the 30th anniversary, which is very cool. Lugia Ho. I chose this one because I thought it looked really cool. And technically, I think Soul Silver was the first remake of Gen 2 that I ever played, so I thought it was pretty cool to get this one. The first games I ever played was, at least fully through, was Pokemon Pearl. I also played a little bit of Leaf Green, but I really like Soul Silver, so I got Lugia right there, obviously Ho-Ho for Heart Gold, obviously in Silver and Gold, which is very cool. This is a very cool magazine. I haven't looked through it all yet, but obviously if you go I'm assuming like some of these are interviews, so I'm assuming like this is an interview that's going on right now. I'm not sure, but well, yeah, I think this is like an interview. That's very cool. It has Ash and Pikachu right there. We see the merchandising numbers compared to other franchises, which is very awesome. We have a section of Pokemon Go. We have Always Evolving. I'm not sure if they have any exclusive information on the 30th anniversary in this magazine. They normally do. Obviously, so it's pretty much up to date because they have Pokemon Sleep right there. I'm sure if I went on a little bit earlier, it would have talked about Pokemon Legends CA maybe. Because it seems like they so timeline wise, we have all pretty much the entire gaming timeline. Some of the movies are on here. We have the mention of Pokemon Legends Z right there. We have Scarlet and Violet right there. Detective Pikachu returns, which is very awesome. Yeah, why we love Pikachu. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I like this magazine. I have the other one over there for last year. They normally do one of these every year. And I think they started out with the 25th anniversary, but you know, this is the 30th anniversary, so I thought it was pretty cool. If maybe they'll release like another edition of this at the end of the year that talks about like Generation 10 and everything. I'll probably get that as well. But again, that's very cool. But yeah, that's all my merchandise that I have for the 30th anniversary right now. You know, I'm expecting again to order more. I might even order more of the current selection of merch that they have. I might get like the hat and maybe like another shirt, but that's pretty much it for what I'm expecting. Or maybe like the ornament, because that was also pretty cool. But yeah, that was very cool. There's a lot of merch for the 30th anniversary, and I'm expecting more. And I feel like honestly, that's probably where we need to start, because that's just an easy thing to talk about. There is gonna be a lot of merch for the 30th anniversary. I'm expecting this year. We already saw, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to like include like screenshots here, but we've already seen like that they've, I think at the European International Championships this past weekend, they kind of showed off like they had some of the merch on display that showed like the opening scene of Pokemon Red and Blue with like Gengar and Nidoran, and they're including like a pin for that and like a playmat and like sleeves for TCG cards and like deck boxes. And I'm expecting that to be a lot more. I think that honestly that'd be a pretty cool theme for the 30th anniversary major set. If that's what they want to do, like make like all the cards in that same scheme, like not color scheme, but like pattern. I don't even know if pattern is the right word, but just like in the same look of those, like of that scene, like the green and outline, like black outline of the Pokemon. I think it'd be really cool if they did that. Or just like, again, maybe like an older version of like every single card in that set. I think that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, I'm not expecting to do that. I expect a lot of these TCG sets that this year that are specifically oriented for the 30th anniversary, like we've already seen with like the Pikachu right here. I think they're all gonna have like the 30th anniversary logo, which this is just the Pokemon Day logo, but I'm expecting to have the 30th anniversary logo. And then like we've already seen like they're doing a starter set for the TCG, so I think they're gonna have like a specific pack included with like a like box set with like one pack and then like two normal TCG packs, and then within that pack you get like 3 different starter cards, which is very cool. Though I think they've already shown off, I think they're doing Gen 1, or like I don't remember the generations, but they've already shown off 3 generations of the starters that will be included in that, which is very awesome. I'm gonna try to obviously get that once they show up and like release those for pre-order. I'm very excited for that set, but I'm expecting there obviously be a larger set, and again, it could be like that 30th anniversary that's done in like the Gengar Nidoran style scene from Pokemon Blue, Red and Blue, but I'm expecting obviously a pretty big set for the TCG. Honestly, I could probably show. I also have the 25th anniversary set here. So let me honestly, well, what I have from the 25th anniversary set. So let me actually show that as a little example. I'm not expecting them to do that for this year, but still, I thought it was a pretty cool set. So let me get that. So yeah, I have my little binder. Well, it's not even that little, but my binder here. And on the first page, I just basically have some of the 25th anniversary cards. So for the 25th anniversary, I believe they did the major celebration set. Was it called Celebrations? I don't remember, but it was the 25th anniversary set. They did like cards for every single, like most of the major legendaries from the franchise up to that point. So that was generation 1 through 8. So we can see like Groudon right there, Ho-Ho on the other side, Zekrom, Lugia, very cool. And they had like these cards, which was, I have a set like the Pikachu ones. I have the Rayquaza. They went back and like added some modern Pokemon and like to like sets that like versions of sets that wouldn't have had those Pokemon. So we have again like a Mega Rayquaza EX, which that honestly probably existed. Let me see if I have an example. I think I just had an example. Yeah. So we have I do not have an example there. But we have, let me see. Right there, like we have Dark Sylveon. and Lance's Charizard, which is very cool. So yeah, I expect them to do another set like this. Obviously, in 2016, we also had the 20th anniversary set, which was very cool. I think I also have cards from that one. I also have a video of me opening Elite Trainer box from that set. Generations, not evolutions. Honestly, I probably also do have an Elite Trainer box video for the evolutions, but Generations was honestly a very cool set. So I hope they do something closer to that for this year. Just again, because I think that suit was really cool and really awesome. Let me put this to the side again. But yeah, you know, I hope that's something that they do. Obviously, they are planning to do a 30th anniversary set, which is gonna be really awesome. But again, I hope it's something that's very awesome and very fun. I'm expecting it obviously to be pretty awesome, pretty fun. But yeah, you know, obviously, I think I kind of knocked out a lot of things there to talk about the TCG set. I'm expecting obviously that TCG set to probably release later this year, because I think we already know, at least for Japan, like what the sets are leading into like May and June. So those like the TC like these 30th anniversary sets probably don't release until the second half of the year. And then obviously they have to come over to the West. So I'm expecting maybe August, September, October is when we start seeing like major packs for each set. And then we probably see like major releases for this specific set until like Pokemon Day next year. Which is gonna be very awesome. We have a good amount. I'm hoping at least to get a lot, not a lot of packs, but just a good amount of packs just to open, and just make, you know, a little bit of a memorabilia set for this year, which would be pretty awesome. You know, honestly, I kind of hope, I don't have it nearby, but I kind of hope they also do with the jumbo cards that they did in 2021 that had like all 8 generation starters. So they had all 24 plus a Pikachu. That was a really cool set, and they did them all like in the set from, or like in the look of like what those cards were back then. So we obviously had the Diamond and Pearl, like the first one that comes to mind is like Diamond and Pearl trio, which was obviously Piplup, Chimchar, and Turtwig. We had them done in what they looked like back then. So we had the level, I believe like, probably like level like 6 to like 9, those cards, like the original cards, which was really awesome. And I hope they do like something like that this year. Obviously that was kind of a novelty back then, and now, you know, I'm kind of thinking about if they will do something that like involves Generation 10 as well. Like a couple of cards from Generation 10, you know, include that, and then like the 30th anniversary set, and like if they do a set that's like focused mainly on the starters, so something like that, and like they include, you know, maybe that's why they release it late in the year, and they include like the Generation 10 starters. I think that'd be pretty awesome, and I'm honestly hoping they do something like that, just to include a little bit of Generation 10, which I guess now is the perfect segue to talk about it for a little bit. I am expecting Generation 10 to both be announced and released this year, and that's gonna be really awesome just to see. I think obviously we're gonna probably see it on Pokemon Day, so we are probably less than 2 weeks away from seeing it. And I'm very, very excited to see it. I'm very excited to see the starters. I'm hoping, and I'm not really expecting them to do it in the way that they did it, but I'm hoping they're not gonna do it in the way that they revealed Generation 8, not Generation 8, Generation 7 on Pokemon Day in 20, or I'm not sure if it was on Pokemon Day, but for the 20th anniversary, they revealed Pokemon Sun and Moon, but it was just a couple of screenshots, like off camera screenshots, and like the montage. But the montage was awesome. I expect them to do a montage of the entire franchise again this year, but which will probably be very sad. I mean, not very happy. It'll be very, very happy and very emotional. But I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also, I don't know when they're gonna include it in Pokemon Presents, but it will be in the Pokemon Presents, I'm feeling like. But you know, I'm expecting them to obviously announce Generation 10 this year, and I am hoping again that they're not going to do it in that way. I hope we do see like footage of it, like the starters and everything. I don't think we'll see the legendaries, obviously, or like what the mascot Pokemon for this generation, or like the box art Pokemon for this generation will be. But I think we will see the starters. I think we will see our first glimpse of the game. I'm very excited to see it. I think it's gonna be a Switch 2 exclusive. I don't really have a problem if it's the Switch 1 or Switch 2. You know, I think they're gonna be at least a Switch 2 edition. But I think it will be a Switch 2 exclusive just to, you know, just because obviously I think it will just run better on Switch 2 and everything. So I'm looking very much forward to that. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. I love Scarlet and Violet. I love Sword and Shield. I love all Pokemon games, but Scarlet and Violet is one of my favorites ever. Legends of the is really awesome. So I think they're on a roll right now, and I'm hoping that leads into Generation 10, and they do have an amazing Generation 10. And yeah, I'm very excited for it. Obviously, I'm going to choose the water starter. That's always been the case. You can see Froakie, and Mudkip back there, which is very awesome. I'm not sure you can see any water starters over there. Probably not. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. I'm very excited to see Generation 10. Obviously, we have other games coming out this year as well. We have Pokemon Champions, which is supposed to be the main game at Pokemon Worlds this year. So, and obviously Pokemon XP, which is really awesome. I'm not gonna talk much about that here, because I will have a section about that in the predictions video, just because I'm expecting them to talk about that more there, since tickets do need to go up for Pokemon Worlds very not very soon, but somewhat soon, just so people can start planning for it. So I'm expecting that to see that in Pokemon Day. Probably see obviously more information on Pokemon XP. But yeah, we have Pokemon Champions releasing this year, which is really awesome. Honestly, I was thinking maybe you could shadow drop on Pokemon Day. But I'm also kind of feeling they're gonna do another shout out on Pokemon Day, like revolving around like the older games. And obviously I think there's been a couple rumors about that recently, but I think it'd be kind of cool, especially if they are doing this like set, like they're trying to make it like a big thing, part of the 30th anniversary, like with the artwork from the first game with obviously Gengar and Nidoran. I think it'd be kind of cool if they did re-release like Red and Blue, or the Gen 1, Gen 3 remakes, or Gen 3 remakes of Gen 1. I think it'd be pretty cool if they did like re-releases for those. I'm not sure if they would be on NSO or not, because I think that they would want to have them have like Pokemon Home capability, and like the obviously with Pokemon Home capability, like the ability to use those Pokemon in Pokemon Champions and everything. So I'm kind of on the I'm in the middle of what I think the way to handle them. Obviously we already have Game Boy and Game Boy Advance on the Switch and Switch 2, so it makes sense for those to also be there. But I think it also makes as much sense to just have them be separate purchases that are like I don't know, like $15 to $20 if like they're the Gen 3 Gen 1 remakes, and then maybe like the same like $10 for Red, Blue, and Yellow. I think that'll be pretty cool. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm thinking that, and if they do that, I think that's going to release on Pokemon Day, which then probably makes it less likely that Pokemon Champions will release on Pokemon Day. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do that and Pokemon Champions. But I think that we'll have Pokemon Champions fairly soon, just so people can get used to it before Worlds happens and everything. That could be like a May release at the very latest, but I'm thinking maybe anywhere between Pokemon Day and May, was when we see Pokemon Champions. And then yeah, I'm very excited for Pokemon Champions. This will probably be my. I'm not really into like the Pokemon competitive side. Obviously, I love battling, but this game is, I think, oriented towards battling in like the competitive side. So I'm looking forward to like at least playing through it and like battling a lot and everything. Maybe it'll get me into being more competitive in Pokemon. But I will definitely play it. I love Pokemon Battle Revolution, which is what this is kind of seem like, in like obviously Pokemon Stadium and everything. So that's kind of like what this is kind of like in the same vein of, which is very cool. I think they've confirmed, or like you can read on the website, that you don't have to like have Pokemon to transfer in the game. Like there's gonna be the ability to get certain Pokemon in this game, and I think it'd be kind of cool if like that they made it exclusive, not exclusive Pokemon, but like event Pokemon that you can get in this game, and like you can transfer them over to Pokemon Home and then use them in Generation 9, Generation 10. I think that'd be very cool. But the last game that we know about for this year that will be releasing is Pokemon Pokopia, and that just got previews, which is very, very awesome. The previews were in my opinion like very positive on the game, so that makes me even more excited for it, and I'm glad that that's part of the 30th anniversary like releases, because I think it's gonna be a very fun game. I'm expecting it, honestly, besides Generation 10, to be my most played game this year on the Switch 2. Obviously, best barring any surprises from Nintendo themselves. Maybe we do have a 3D Mario this year, which probably be in my top 3 played games, maybe top 1. Maybe that would be my most played game. But I'm expecting it, obviously, if like 3D Mario is coming out this year, probably be between Pokemon Generation 10, 3D Mario, and Pokopia. But yeah, that's besides the point. Pokopia looks very awesome, and I'm very excited for it. You know, I don't think it's talked about in the magazine at all. So um, I don't have any like reference for that here, but I'm very excited for it. It looks very, very fun. I'm excited to see more of it because we probably will see it again in the Presents one, because the Presents is happening about I think 6 days before the game releases. So we'll probably see it like as this launch trailer might be in the Presents. And we'll probably see maybe another form of a Pokemon there. Um, I guess they could do the overview trailer also in the Presents, and then we get a lot more information about the game. But I'm just very excited for it. I'm glad again that it's a part of the 30th anniversary, because I think this is like the perfect game to have alongside Generation 10 for this anniversary. Because I think it's just gonna be a really fun time. It's gonna be a very communal game, I think, because you're gonna be able to play with your friends and everything. So I'm very, very excited for that. But besides that, I'm honestly not really sure if we'll have another game this year. I think it'd be pretty cool besides like the enhanced ports, or like the ports of some of the older games releasing on the console, and then maybe like obviously Coliseum is probably going to come this year to GameCube NSO, and then obviously Pokemon and Generation 10. I think that's a very cool lineup, and it would be obviously a lot, I mean not a lot cooler, but it would obviously be even more cooler to have like another game released this year for the franchise that's like on Switch and Switch 2. But I'm not really expecting it, just because I think again we're gonna have Pokepia like in March. We're probably gonna have Champions anywhere between Pokemon Day and like May, and then we'll have obviously Generation 10 in like October or November. So that's a lot of Pokemon just for the gaming side. And then obviously again we will have the TCG sets. We will have obviously a lot of merch. We'll have Pokemon Worlds, Pokemon XP. Again, we will probably have like maybe a new 30th anniversary anime, which I think they've done that. I think they did that with the 20th anniversary. They had like the anime that like I believe it was like following like Red, which is really cool. So I'm not sure they'll do that again, but again, maybe if they are gonna have ports for like some of the Generation 1 games, like the remakes of Generation 1 that happened in Generation 3, that'd be kind of cool. Like they did like another Red focused anime, or like maybe like focus on like other characters from that generation, or like maybe they go on now and they do like a anime that follows like Ethan and everything. I think it would be pretty cool. But you know, I think they already kind of did that also with I think the 25th anniversary. I think they had one of the animes, at least between the 20th and the 25th anniversary, where like they went to each generation. I think that was the 25th anniversary, if I remember right, because they also had I believe a Galar episode there. But that was also a very cool anime. So it'd be kind of cool just to see, you know, what they do here. I think I am expecting like a mini series for the 30th anniversary to happen again. And I think that'd be really cool. I'm very much looking forward to that. I think like in the Presents we'll probably see more of in the Presents we'll probably see the announcement of this series, and then maybe some information like on the next saga, or like the next era of Horizons, which I'm not fully caught up on yet. So I'm not really sure what's going on in Horizons at the moment. So maybe they are at least on a break and it doesn't really need new information. But I think it's pretty cool if we see anything more like Horizons. You know, again, I think we'll see a 30th anniversary anime or like mini series this year. But yeah, you know, for releases wise, I don't think we're gonna see much more outside of that on like the multimedia aspect. We could see like the announcement of like a live action movie, like Detective Pikachu 2, or like something to do like with again, maybe they don't do like a 30th anniversary mini series like they usually upload like on YouTube. Maybe they announce like that they are doing a live action like remake of like Generation 1, which would be really, really cool. That's something obviously that's been a dream for a lot of people over the years, so I'm very excited. I hope they do something like that one day. But that would be honestly the perfect announcement, again with 30th anniversary and Generation 10 releasing this year. I think that'd be a pretty cool announcement. So but yeah, you know, there's probably a lot more that we're going to talk about throughout the rest of the year. So I'm very excited about that. Obviously there might be even more that I talk about just when the Pokemon Presents is officially announced. But obviously we're gonna have like I think it'd be pretty cool if we had like a 30th line of plushies with like focus on Pikachu. Obviously I think we're gonna need at some point to get, because I think we had Pikachu's done for all of the main characters between I believe Gen 1 and Gen 8, so it'd be cool if they went back and they did Gen 9 and Gen 10, maybe, and re-released those plushies, because I wasn't able to get some of them. And you know, those plushies are always really cool. So again, I think we're gonna get something related to Generation 30, Generation 10, for the 30th anniversary, and just in general for the 30th anniversary of plushies. Which are really awesome. Obviously, again, that kind of goes into the March of everything, but yeah, you know, I just wanted to make, I didn't really know how long this video was going to be. I just wanted to talk about Pokemon and 30th anniversary just a little bit. You know, again, I mean, I will have a lot more Pokemon card videos this year, which is going to be very exciting. I believe the next set honestly comes out on next Friday, so I'll maybe have a video around then, but obviously depending on when they announce Pokemon Presents, which it could be a week early. So sometimes they do them a week early, so if they announce like the presents on this Friday, you know, it'll be kind of hard to do that, and then also some Pokemon TCG videos, but I'll try my best. Obviously, the next couple weeks may just be solely Pokemon focused with the presents and the 30th anniversary and Pokopia, but we also got some Nintendo stuff in there, which should be very, very fun. But yeah, you know, I'm very, very excited. You know, it could be because I just finished watching the European Championships that I'm like all like even more excited now just to see what they're gonna announce for this year and talk about this year. But yeah, that is all I really have for the moment. I don't think that there's really much more that I want to talk about at the moment. You know, again, there's a couple more, like obviously I think we're like in the presents they're gonna talk about like the Universal expansion and everything, like Universal Park expansion, and stuff like that. But again, I'll save those predictions for the presents, and let me just make sure go over my notes one more time just to make sure I'm not missing anything, and then we can wrap up the video. So yeah, I made like this list just to, that was mainly focused on like Pokemon Day predictions, but or like Pokemon Presents predictions, but you know, I think I talked about everything that I really want to talk about here. Obviously I didn't talk about like the mobile games, but I'm obviously expecting news to happen throughout the whole year that are going to be like 30th anniversary themed for the mobile games, which are really awesome. Like I think we already saw something for Pokemon Go, which is really cool. Maybe we get a new mobile game this year, so maybe like that helps like supplement like what I was talking about. Like it'd be cool to like have a pretty big and expansive lineup of Pokemon releases this year. Maybe that one of those announcements is a Pokemon game. And then obviously I think we're gonna have like Pokemon Unite and news and everything this year. But yeah, that's very exciting. I'm very excited for Pokemon Day. Very excited for the 30th anniversary. I want to do this video for such a long time now, but now that we are so close to the Pokemon Presents, I figured this would be a great time just to make like multiple Pokemon videos just back to back to back, just to celebrate the 30th anniversary. And this will be the first one. So without further ado, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave down any of your own predictions down in the comments below for the year. But I hope you all do makes you happy, because rhymes with my previous name, Generic Happy, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Goodbye.